Well, so the C-CASCADES, in this project we want to look at the transport, or to get a better understanding of the transport of carbon from land all the way to the ocean, and at a global scale. And I am looking at a smaller scale, so I'm looking at the interaction between the dissolved organic carbon, so DOC, and CO2 in lakes, streams and groundwater. So I look on the freshwater, and I focus specifically on the border region, and all my work is done in Sweden. So I've done one study covering the whole of Sweden, looking at lakes and streams and river mail systems, and then I go down to looking at one catchment where I'm looking at the groundwater, and then I've done an experiment in one lake, so it's at a smaller scale, and I do observational and experimental studies. So in my first study, where I then looked at if the DOC and CO2 in lakes and streams were coupled through time. And so we saw that the DOC had increased in more than half of the lakes and streams that were included in the study, but very, very few of those had also increased in CO2, which was a big surprise, because it's been shown so much that they have a positive relationship, but this was not the case in the long term. And then in my second study, we thought that the bacteria would be a big driver of the CO2. So we thought that where we add this organic carbon, those treatments, we would get an higher bacterial production. But we didn't get any difference in between the different treatments. So we actually didn't get more bacterial production, but we did get more CO2. And it shows that, so instead we saw that there was a very strong relationship with the pH. So the second study was a mesocosm experiment. So basically we have these big barrels or mesocosms. They are about 2 meters tall and 1 meter in diameter. And so we have 20 of them sitting in the lake here.
The C-CASCADE project brings a lot of different disciplines together, and I work on lake ecosystems, and we have 117 million lakes on Earth. And if you take lake water like this one here, and you see a lot of different processes actually happening in this clear water here. And I like these transformation processes, and so far we have not really included the 117 million lakes in the Earth system models. So being a partner of C-CASCADE means that I can bring knowledge from my lake ecosystems into the Earth system models. That's a major part for me, and our main goal is to understand the global carbon cycle. So that is a great opportunity for me. Yeah, I gained a lot of different new ideas, because I'm not a modeler, not an Earth system modeler, so I can get exchange and get new knowledge by the modelers, and I also get knowledge by the terrestrial ecosystem persons.
So, for example, a lot of modeling, when they try to model global carbon budgets, they use DOC because there's a lot more measurements that have been done on the dissolved organic carbon in the waters, and they use that to estimate the CO2. And if you then want to try to make predictions on what's happening in the future when we get more DOC, then I think my first study is very important, because it shows that there has an increase in CO2 where there's been increases in DOC, so this should definitely be taken into account.